Oh, there we go. Good day, guys, and welcome to our first Rocket League tutorial video. This one's because obviously I don't think that there's been a tutorial out for it yet, but um, basically this is going to be a tutorial for the bunny dash or the bunny hop or whatever people like to call it. So basically, this is a move like a normal wave dash, but instead it incorporates another um, adverse mechanic of the Rocket League physics that generally would actually be detrimental, but isn't detrimental in this particular case. So basically, what a bunny hop technically is it's just a wave dash done in very multiple wave dashes done in very small succession. So um, basically the and when executed properly can be a very quick way of speeding up. Now, as you can see, I'm speeding up very quickly from a standstill with no boost um, used, and I can slow down at any point. I can go into a full flip and continue my journey, or I can, slow down, or I can half flip. I've got a multitude of options to go with when I use it. Basically, the adverse effect that it utilizes, is the a car's wobble once you land. So if you land and you try to do a jump immediately after, you'll notice that you don't get the full amount of jump. Now that like that. Now that happens because that's not my second jump. That's a starting jump. Now this occurs because I don't really understand the physics behind it entirely, but basically from what I can gather, it's just to do with the way the suspension and the physics work on your car. Your car still has downward momentum, and that's going into the suspension, right? So that's what I think the adverse mechanic is, that causes the wobble. And you'll notice with big cars, it's really bad. With smaller cars that have really small wheelbases, like the Octane, it won't be such a big deal. But with big cars, and that's part of the reason I chose the Jaeger to deal with, because Jaeger actually has almost the exact same wheelbase as the Dominus. So it's a fairly large car, and I wanted to prove the point that you don't need a small car to do it with. You can actually do it with a big car, a bigger car. So, and basically we'll get started on exactly how that works. So basically, a normal wave dash is a flip cancel. You're canceling your flip as you hit the ground. So you're pushing the flip. You're getting the force of the flip, the momentum of that extra piece of movement, and you're using it as half your car hits the ground so that you can get the speed of a flip like this without actually leaving the ground and allowing you to get back up into the air quicker. Um, a bunny hop differs from consecutive wave dashes because consecutive wave dashes require full jumps. Bunny hops do not. Um, and the way that your mechanics change is that you're actually leaning into the next jump. So to break it down to you, basically it's wave dash and then lean towards the direction that you're traveling and then lean back into the next wave dash. So this is basically the effect you're going for. I might be able to do it in ball cam so that I can actually show you without the camera moving towards it. But this is the basic motion you want to be following. This motion, not to the same extent, but you want to lean towards and then back away. The reason you're leaning towards is because when you do your jump again, you want as much of your jump's momentum to continue traveling in the line that you're traveling. So if you lean away from the jump, it'll begin to your car's the bottom of your car will also travel in that same direction. You're not losing any force in your wave dash in then. Whereas if you don't lean towards the towards the direction that you're traveling, um, you won't gain that extra bit of speed, and you also won't be able to take advantage of the wobble as effectively. So that's why we're leaning towards our direction of travel at the beginning of a wave of each bunny hop, um, so that we're getting a smaller hop, and as well as taking advantage of that extra little bit of speed that we can get from the original jump itself. So how's this move done? Basically, it's wave dash, jump, lean, wave dash, jump, lean. So like this. Um, and that's the general gist of it. Honestly, it takes a fair bit of practice. You can actually get this a lot smaller than how I'm getting it, a lot closer to the ground than I'm getting it, and all in all, it seems to be a very good move for practicing your ground mechanics. And that's why I would definitely recommend learning it for anyone who's fairly decent at wave dashing and can wave dash consistently to practice this move, because you never know when you might need to get more speed than your boost is capable of, or whatever the case is. It's a handy move to know. And I've only learnt it today, and I've used it more than once in a game already, just to conserve boost while I make my way back to the net. Um, and it's come in handy because the another pro of this move is that it keeps you when you if I use all my boosts to travel to full speed, as I start to turn and move around, I will lose speed and go back to the original max acceleration speed. If I'm doing a bunny hop, I am um, continuing uh, that momentum at the maximum amount of speed that I can possibly go, while um, obviously keeping my hands busy as well, uh, so that I can make adjustments if need be. I can go get boost, or I can stop, or I can start, or I can jump, or whatever the case is. It leaves you with a lot more freedom, um, as well as being obviously quite intimidating for the enemy team, because they're like, "What in the mother are they doing?" Uh, but that's basically the gist of it. Is um, to achieve this move is uh, is as simple as firstly learning how to wave dash, learning how to do a flips cancel is on the ground, um, to one direction, in one direction. The reason people turn to the side to do this bunny hop move is because it's not as easy. You can do it diagonally, but because of a car's extra diagonal and uh, diagonal size and length itself, it's a lot harder to take advantage of the wobble that your car has, because it's more stable, um, from front to back because of the extra length. So they turn their car to their side and they take advantage of the wobble to make that jump as small as possible, to make that wobble as tight as possible so that they can make their bunny hops as quickly as possible. But that's really it. Um, give this a try. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or any issues with it, um, or any advice. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll hopefully see you guys in the next tutorial or analysis or gameplay or montage or whatever I decide to make. Anyway, have a good one. Peace, guys.